We have a great character and then great players.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. I hope you guys are doing well. Welcome to Athlete's Voice. Please like, share, subscribe. Please, if you are new to this channel, igama lami Bhubesi Mphathi Mhlaba. Check me out on IG as Bhubesi Mphathi Mhlaba. Check me out on Twitter as Bhubesi_11. Welcome to the family, man. If you're a sporting fan, whether you're a football fan, rugby fan, golf fan, cricket fan, tennis fan, basketball fan, hey man, welcome to the family. Join us and let's enjoy the journey, man. Let's grow together, let's interact together, let's build this community, man. Without further ado, we saw a great weekend of Premier League action. This was a great weekend of Premier League action. I'm here to give you results, my own review, my own analysis of all the matches that took place over the weekend. Across all 10 matches, 41 goals were scored. 41 goals were scored across all matches. We've seen upsets, record-breaking scores. We've seen records being broken. So much goal-mouth action, so much to talk about from this past weekend of Premier League action. 3 hat-tricks were scored. 3 hat-tricks were scored across all matches. We saw, goal-mouth actions, red cards, so much to talk about, man. So much to talk about. But without further ado, man, let's start with the game that played. Newly promoted Luton are yet to secure victory this season. They took on West Ham United. West Ham United high on confidence, man, winning their past 3 games, after winning the UEFA Conference League last season. They booming on confidence, man. They booming on confidence, and clearly, we don't even know where to for them this season. Perhaps are they targeting to play in the Champions League next season? Maybe are they targeting for Premier League honors, another fairy tale season like what we saw with Leicester City in the 2015-2016 season? We don't know. But hopefully with the Hammers, we hope they can keep up with this consistency. We hope they can keep up with this momentum even after the international break. We hope so. We hope so. So the score was 2-1 in that game. Luton 1, West Ham United 2. Thanks to goals by inform Gerard Bowen, who netted from a pinpoint Lucas Paqueta cross. And in the 85th minute, victory was sealed for the Hammers, thanks to former Chelsea defender Kurt Zouma, scoring in the 85th minute to seal all 3 points for West Ham United. And then Matt Anderson, the defender of Luton Town, Matt Anderson, gave the home side a mere consolation goal in the 92nd minute of the game. Then moving on into the next game, we saw a 4-goal thriller between Sheffield United as well as Everton. The score was 2-2, thanks to goals by Cameron Archer as well as an own goal by England goalkeeper Jordan Pickford. Everton also did find the back of the net thanks to Abdoulaye Doucouré, as well as Nigerian-born new signing Arnaud Danjuma, who tapped in the equalizer from a Nathan Patterson cross in the 55th minute of the game. The next game, this is where one of the first of the three hat-tricks that were scored across all the matches was scored. Of course, it's none other than who? Erling Haaland. Erling Haaland. Erling Haaland. Right. Erling Haaland netted a hat-trick, which is his first hat-trick of the season. This was his first hat-trick of the season, to defeat Fulham 5-1, giving Fulham a 5-1 hammering. The score, World Cup winner Julian Alvarez gave Manchester City the lead in the 31st minute. And then we saw USA defender John Ream netted the equalizer from a rebounded effort by Raul Jimenez in the 33rd minute of the game. And then shortly before the halftime break, Dutch defender Nathan Ake restored the lead for Manchester City. And then from that point onwards, City ran rampant. Erling Haaland netting his first goal in the 58th minute, and then netting again in the 70th minute, and netting his hat-trick in the 95th minute of the game. Still an emphatic victory for Manchester City over the West London team at the Etihad Stadium. And then in the next game, we saw a shock. Shock. This was the shock of the weekend. Shock. Shock of the weekend. Nottingham Forest came in their first victory at the Stamford Bridge since January 1995. Since January 1995, Nottingham Forest defeating Chelsea at the Bridge since January 1995. A famous victory for them. A famous victory for them indeed. And thanks to a goal by former Manchester United winger Anthony Elanga, who was assisted by in-form Nigerian striker Taiwo Awoniyi. Anthony Elanga was the man of the match, was indeed crowned the man of the match thanks to his goal. And he came off the bench. He was a super sub, an impact player, Anthony Elanga. Perhaps this performance against Chelsea at the Bridge will give Man United boss Erik ten Hag a lot to think about. Perhaps in terms of beefing up his attack, a lot to think about. Will he regret letting go of Anthony Elanga? Well, we'll see. The next games will prove to us whether or not he will regret. But congrats to Nottingham Forest and congrats to Anthony Elanga as well. Hopefully this will give him a massive boost. This will boost his confidence going into the next games. This will boost his confidence. And surely even going into the international break, he will be donning the colors of the Swedish national team. And we hope so, that this will boost his confidence. Hopefully he can fight for his spot in the national team. As we know, there's already players like Alexander Isak, who's also on form for Newcastle United. So, time will tell. Time will tell. Time will tell. And he did end his personal goal drought. This ended his personal goal drought. Last time Anthony Elanga found the back of the net was in January 2022. That was the last time he found the back of the net. January 2022. So, hopefully this did boost his confidence, and hopefully it's only upward. Only he'll go upwards from this point onwards. He'll go upwards, and hopefully he will restore his dignity, and hopefully it will give him a massive boost, to give him a morale boost, to enhance his performance on the field, and hopefully help Nottingham Forest have a great season in the Premier League. Moving on, we saw another emphatic victory for Tottenham Hotspur at away to Burnley, score resulting in a 5-2 victory, and that was the second of three hat-tricks scored by Son Heung-min. What a great game that was. We saw South African striker, informed South African striker Lyle Foster put Burnley ahead in the 4th minute of the game, which was an early goal. They took the lead in the 4th minute of the game, which was 1-0. And then Son Heung-min equalized in the 16th minute. And then Christian Romero put Tottenham ahead in the 45th minute of the game, shortly before the halftime break. And then Son Heung-min secured his brace in the 63rd minute. James Maddison scored again. Wow, what a brilliant signing for Tottenham. James Maddison, the former Leicester star player. James Maddison, what a brilliant signing for Tottenham. And I'm sure the Spurs fans love him already. They've wanted him. He has been on the Spurs fans' radar for a long time. And finally, the Tottenham Hotspur fans are living their dream, seeing this brilliant talent. James Maddison, running the colors of the famous, North London side, Tottenham Hotspur. And what an impact he has made so far, playing for Spurs. And then, record-breaking, Son Heung-min scored his hat-trick in the 66th minute of the game, breaking the record of Cristiano Ronaldo. He now has got more goals than his idol, Cristiano Ronaldo. Cristiano Ronaldo scored 102 Premier League goals during his time at Man United, during both his stints at Man United. And we know Cristiano Ronaldo is Son Heung-min's idol. And he has gotten more goals than him, more Premier League goals than him. Son Heung-min now has 103. 103 Premier League goals. Incredible. Incredible for the South Korean. Perhaps he's the greatest South Korean player that has ever played the game. Some might argue, they might say it's Park Ji-sung, former Manchester United player Park Ji-sung. But I guess, yeah, he is the greatest South Korean player to have ever played the game. What a player. What a player. Versatile, can use either foot, his left foot or his right foot. He's a diverse player. He's got so much incredible ability. Can play on the wing, can play as a center forward, can score goals, can create chances, great dribbler of the ball. This is a great football player. Underrated much? Perhaps. Compared to Ousmane Dembele as well. Him and Ousmane Dembele kind of share so many similarities. Ousmane Dembele has soon gone on to move on to French giants Paris Saint-Germain. So many similarities between him and Ousmane Dembele. Some might argue that he was just in the shadow of Harry Kane, who has gone on to secure a record transfer move to German giants Bayern Munich. Harry Kane, what a player as well. And there was a great chemistry between the two players, between Son and Harry Kane. Great chemistry. But now we know at Tottenham there's Richarlison now. There's Son. There's James Maddison. There's Saw. There's Bernardeschi. They do have the players now, and they can still compete. With this level of performance, surely Tottenham will go somewhere. They will go far in this season. And look, under the new coach, Ange Postecoglou, they're yet to lose a game. So what an impact he's bringing to the side. And Burnley as well are yet to collect any points this season. They've lost in all their games since being promoted back to the Premier League. They've lost all their games. As well as Spurs, as well as, Josh Brownhill did get a mere consolation goal for Burnley in the 92nd minute of the game, but it was just a mere consolation, just to add some respect to the scoreline. But as we move on to the next games. Brentford 2, Bournemouth 2. Thanks to goals by Matthias Janssen and Brian Mbuemo. And then for Bournemouth, Dominic Solanke did also break his goal drought, as well as David Brooks also broke his goal drought. David Brooks scored his first Premier League goal since netting against Manchester City in July 2020. And then Brentford have been denied have been denied a victory. They are yet to win a game under their new coach, former Rayo Vallecano coach, um, Andoni Iraolo. They are yet to win under the Spanish stalwart. He did a great job for Rayo Vallecano last season in the Spanish La Liga. They are yet to win a game under him so far this season. Hopefully that will change in due time. And wow, in the next game, that was the record-breaking game. Brighton 3, Newcastle United 1. Record-breaking game. Reason why I say this was the third hat-trick that was scored in the weekend. And guess who scored this hat-trick? Even Ferguson. Reason why I say it was record-breaking, he's only the fourth player to score a Premier League hat-trick, aged 18, after Chris Burt Williams, Robbie Fowler, as well as Michael Owen. The fourth player who's 18 and younger to have scored a hat-trick in the Premier League. What an incredible player. What a player. Certainly has a bright future. You know, Roberto De Zerbi made 3 changes from the defeat to West Ham, with John Paul van Herco, Joel Veltman, and João Pedro all in the starting 11. As well as Sven Bartman was missing due to an ankle injury he sustained against Liverpool. As well as former Brighton player Dan Burn was deployed at centre-back, and Matt Target was deployed at left-back for Newcastle United. What a game, man. What a game. Brighton, great team. Newcastle, also a great team. But Newcastle have had a slow start to the season. They've had a slow start to the season. Hopefully that will also change after the international break. This is their third defeat, their third consecutive defeat. That's not what we expect from the team that we saw last season, that finished in the Champions League, that finished third in the Premier League. Imagine. Hopefully things will change for Newcastle. Hopefully things will change for the Magpies. Hopefully they'll bounce back after the international break. We just hope so. We hope so. This is an incredible team with great players. Alexander Isak, Sandro Tonali, new signing from Leicester City, Ashley Barnes, the likes of Jollington, the likes of Bruno in the midfield, the likes of Callum Wilson as their striker. They've got brilliant attackers. They just need to be more consistent. They need to, be able to manage the game, take their opportunities as they come. They're very careless in front of goal. They don't take their chances. They were punished for those early chances that they missed against Brighton. They had a lot of early chances that they missed. And they were punished. They were later on punished for that. And Brighton ran rampant after that. They ran rampant after that. So they just need to be able to take their chances and capitalize more. And capitalize more on their chances. In the other game, we saw Aston Villa travel to Anfield to take on Liverpool. We saw Aston Villa World Cup winner Emiliano Martinez did return in goal, but unfortunately he couldn't help. He couldn't do much, unfortunately, because he conceded 3 goals, but there was nothing he could do about that. Great goals by new signing Dominic Szoboszlai, and an own goal by Matty Cash, as well as Mohamed Salah sealing victory for them in the 55th minute of the game. And then in the other game, Crystal Palace defeated Wolverhampton Wanderers 3-2 at Selhurst Park, thanks to goals by French striker Otsin Ergado, as well as Eberechi Eze, netted as well in the 78th minute. And then for Wolves, Japanese striker Hong Ho Shan, as well as Matthias Cunha, did net for Wolverhampton Wanderers in a 3-2 victory for Crystal Palace at Selhurst Park. But then the big game, the game that everybody was anticipating so much, the game that everybody was highly anticipating, Arsenal taking on Manchester United. This was a renewal of great rivalry between the two sides. Renewal of great rivalry. Arsenal went on to emerge victorious in a 3-1 victory, but what a game that was. what a game that was. Marcus Rashford put Manchester United ahead in the 27th minute. He couldn't even do his famous celebration, putting the finger like this to his ear on the side of his head. He couldn't do it. Because 60 seconds later, former Real Madrid star Martin Odegaard, making it 1-1, equalizing to set up a great encounter, blazing encounter, blazing encounter. I mean, two goals in the space of what, 60 seconds. That's what rivalry is all about. That's what great rivalry is all about. But from my own perspective, I think that was a great game. Arsenal were dominant, as expected. But I think Man United, on the side of Manchester United, they need to bolster that attack. They need more in that attack. I think Martial was not giving them much. He was not offering them much. As well as on the right hand side, Anthony was not offering them much. Also, Bruno Fernandes was not in the game. Especially in the first half, Bruno Fernandes was not in the game at all. There was no way to be seen. It was only Rashford that was lively in the game. You could see that no, Rashford was the one who was offering the team some promise, as he did find the back of the net. We saw only in the second half where Manchester United started to really play more. We saw Anthony Martial that had that opportunity, forcing the save out of the Arsenal goalkeeper, Aaron Ramsdale. Despite that, there was not really much. Lissandro Martinez did get an injury as well, and we saw Harry Maguire replace him coming on. I don't think it was much of a. We can't blame Man United's defense. I think the Man United is just more stagnant in attack. Their attackers didn't really offer them much. There was not much creativity from their midfield as well, in terms of Eriksen as well as Casemiro. There was not much. I think they were completely outplayed by Arsenal. We saw players like Kai Havertz. I don't think he has really found his feet yet since joining the North London club from their bitter London rivals, Chelsea. He hasn't really found his feet yet. In the game, he almost got them a penalty, but of course, that was never really a penalty. That was a clear dive. But then, we hope Manchester United, if they are to compete for the Premier League, if they are to compete, um, if they are really to compete, they're gonna have to pull up their socks. They're gonna have to sharpen their skills in attack. We saw their new signing from Atlanta, the Danish striker, make his debut. We're still going to see more from him. We still hope to see more from him. We still hope to see more from him in the upcoming games. We saw Arsenal, Declan Rice, record signing for the Gunners, scoring the winning goal. Basically, that was the winning goal. 6 minutes were added onto the clock. We could sense there was a kind of sense of optimism that Arsenal were going to eventually score that winning goal. I mean, I saw there were poor finishes from Saka. That was a poor finish, little team effort. I mean, he could have hit it sideways, but he hit it straight to the goalkeeper. And Arsenal they almost regretted missing those chances, as Alejandro Garnacho, substitute Alejandro Garnacho eventually find the back of the net. That could have been the winning goal for Manchester United, but unfortunately it was ruled out VAR, video assistant referee, as an offside. Just by miles, just by inches. It was inches offside. But Arsenal were relieved at that. Hopefully it does teach Mikel Arteta's charges that they need to be more clinical in front of goal. They need to take their chances. Otherwise they will be punished. And they were almost made to rule their missed chances through that goal. They were just saved by the skin of their teeth. That if Garnacho was not offside, it would have been over for Arsenal. And then Gabriel Jesus, brilliant player. What a player. Former Manchester City player. Against his former team's better rival, Man United. Wrapping up victory for Arsenal, for the Gunners, 3-1. In the dying minutes of the game. I mean, the game went on beyond regulation time. Great victory for Arsenal. Well deserved. They were just unfortunate not to win the league last season. But I guess in football, it's all about consistency. It's all about consistency. There's no in the Premier League. There's no room for complacency. There's no room for error. Excuse me. You gotta keep going. You gotta be more consistent. Continue to show consistency. If you really want to compete in the Premier League, if you want to be amongst the best or even be the best, you gotta understand that there's no room for complacency. You gotta be consistent. There's no room for error. The room for error is very slim. So hopefully Arsenal have learned their lesson from last season. They will continue with their great start towards the beginning of the Premier League season. From my side, I mean, thank you so much for joining me. Thank you so much for watching. Please continue supporting Athlete's Voice. Please continue to like, share, subscribe, comment, make your own predictions in the comment section. And let's interact, man. Let's enjoy the beautiful game. And we'll be in touch with you guys pretty soon. Cheers.